Boruto is often criticized for its large amounts of filler, but sometimes filler can be charming. One such time would be when Boruto went back in time and met his father as a child. There he got to know his father better and the things he went through. Boruto and Naruto became like friends, and due to the adversity of Urashiki Otsutsuki, the two grew closer and closer. But sadly, filler is filler, and it can't last forever. They had to erase the memories of Naruto and Jiraiya as Sasuke and Boruto were preparing to return to their own time. But I can't help but wonder what could have happened had Boruto and Sasuke not been able to return to the future. How could things have changed? Well, why don't we just find out? Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. We've noticed that not all of the folks watching our videos are subscribed to the channel. YouTube does a great job recommending you what you want to watch, but if you want to see more like this, and if you want to support the Amagi, a subscription would be very much appreciated. The Amagi's reach stretches beyond just this channel, so if you're a fan of us, please consider subscribing to our other channels and following us on all of our social media. Help us reach our goal of passing 100,000 followers on all of our accounts by the end of the year. Thanks so much. In the aftermath of their battle with Urashiki, Sasuke and Boruto are looking over Karasuki and plotting a way to get back home. Sasuke holds it by the shell. "Looks like we're not using this," he said with obvious disappointment. Boruto took a look. At some point during the battle, it seemed that someone had fallen and landed on the poor thing. Boruto let out a sorrowful groan. Boruto looked back at Naruto and Jiraiya. "Well, it can't hurt remaining here, can it?" Sasuke followed Boruto's gaze, his mostly hidden Rinnegan peeking out from under his hair for only a short moment. "Boruto, we can't afford to screw things up. We're still not entirely sure if this is going to affect anything in the future." Boruto nodded. "But there's not much we can do at the moment, is there? We've already stuck with them this long. What's the worst that could happen?" Sasuke managed to keep his cool. "The end of the world, maybe." Boruto thought about it. "Yeah, if Dad doesn't manage to master his skills and overcome Kaguya during the 4th Shinobi World War, we're screwed." Sasuke thought for a moment and looked at his hand. "It seems we haven't changed too much. I'm still here and my memories haven't been altered." Boruto looks at the poor turtle. "It's possible that this could even be a completely different timeline." Sasuke nods. "It's possible. Even so, we don't want to risk that and possibly destroy our world. And worse, we don't want to meddle and destroy this one if it is different." Boruto shrugs. "We've already interfered and nothing's happened yet. Perhaps the turtle was just wrong. Maybe this is a different timeline. I mean, has anything changed with you?" Sasuke shakes his head. Boruto then speaks. "Think of it this way. If we're in the past, then we could help. Maybe save Uncle Neji from dying." Sasuke grabs Boruto by the shoulder. "No. If you do that, it could jeopardize your very existence. You were named after your dead uncle. There's no telling what could happen." At about that time, Jiraiya and Naruto approach them. "Your turtle not working?" Jiraiya asks. Naruto looks at it. "I think it's dead. On the bright side, we can make it into soup." Boruto lets out a small, mostly controlled gag. "No thanks." Jiraiya looks at Sasuke. "This thing was supposed to take you back to the future?" Sasuke's eyes widen as a little bead of sweat drips from his brow. Jiraiya sighs. "Sasuke, listen, me and Naruto already know yours and Boruto's identities." Naruto nods. "I realized it when we used our cooperation jutsu. I sensed your chakra for a bit and realized that you must be kin to me. Considering that my mother and father died a while ago, that means you can't be from them. I have no brothers or sisters. And considering that Sasuke came from the future, that must mean one thing." Boruto stands there for a minute. "What does it mean?" Naruto scratches his chin and looks up at Jiraiya. "What did you say it meant again?" Jiraiya wipes frustration from his face like tears. "It means he's your descendant. Given Sasuke's age, that means he's likely your son." Naruto nodded. "Ah, so I guess I really do get with Sakura, huh?" Boruto and Sasuke are unable to answer, and Jiraiya picks up on it. "Well, they can't spoil everything that happens, or it'll never happen, right?" Sasuke nods. "Exactly." Boruto looks to Sasuke. "See? Nothing bad's happened." Sasuke looks to Boruto and responds by tacking on something more to Boruto's sentence. "Yet." "What's this about again?" Naruto asks. Sasuke sighs. Having already found that the cat was out of the bag, he decided he might as well explain. "We come from the future. We were worried that telling you might change the way the future flows." Jiraiya scoffed. "I highly doubt you need to worry about that." Sasuke looked at him with curiosity. Jiraiya continued. "It's called the butterfly effect. Basically, it comes from the idea that the beat of a butterfly's wings could have massive, unseen consequences. With time travel, this generally means if you existed in the past where you previously hadn't, you've already changed your future. The level of fate most people experience is so close that it could be either or. For all we know, by you simply making people relive a moment, some tiny unfallen domino in fate's toy box might just drop out of nowhere. Sasuke seemed slightly irked by that, but we have to try at least. We can't risk accidentally destroying the future. Jiraiya squeezed his tear ducts. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Boruto spoke up. I know what he's saying. He's agreeing with me. This is a separate timeline. Jiraiya points to Boruto. That's exactly it. Sasuke was now the one squeezing his tear ducts. Even if that were so, our presence in your world could drastically alter it in negative ways. Jiraiya thought for a moment. Perhaps, but it could also save a lot of lives and create a world even better than before. Sasuke thought about it. He shakes his head. No, this is wrong. Boruto, come with me. We'll figure out a new way to get home. No, I'm staying, Boruto said. I'm gonna stay with my dad, and I believe what Mr. Jiraiya said is right. We can save lives here, make the future even brighter. All it takes is for us to try. Sasuke stepped back. It's funny that you believe in butterfly effects when it supports your view, but easily forget them when it goes against your desires. You don't know what will happen if you do. And you don't know what will happen if we don't, Boruto retorted. Sasuke stood there. Fine, do whatever you want. I'll have no part in this though, I'm leaving. Sasuke left without Boruto. Boruto would sigh. Jiraiya thought about it. You know, kid, you really should go with him. I didn't mean to put a wedge between you and your master. Boruto looked to the elderly sage. It's fine. I don't need him. I want to stay here, grow stronger, and help as many people as I can. But you need to realize that I can't tell you everything. There are things you can never ask me to answer, okay? Naruto and Jiraiya both nodded. Boruto then smiled towards the group. Let's go. This was wonderful for Boruto. What they had taught him in school as history was now becoming his life. He was getting to see what his father was before he became Hokage, and that made him excited. He was excited to get to spend real quality time with his father. The only thing he wished was that Himawari could be here to witness it as well. As they walked off, Boruto asked where they were going, and Naruto answered cleanly. To train. I've been working my tail off to save Sasuke and bring him back to the village. It's nice to know that all my hard work will be rewarded. Boruto followed them on. Naruto was going through training to help him learn to control the Nine Tails. As Boruto watched this, he too began to wonder about his own demon and if it was possible to control it. Boruto would ask Jiraiya about it and tell him that another being, just like Urashiki, was living inside of him, having marked him. He was slowly being changed into an Otsutsuki and the resurrecting form of an Otsutsuki. He asked if it were possible that Jiraiya could help him with this. Jiraiya considered it and began formulating a plan. His plan involved a lot of seals, but despite everything they tried, nothing seemed to work. Jiraiya thought about it. Why not just cut the seal off? Boruto was mortified. Cut it off? Jiraiya nodded. According to what you said, if you simply cut off the seal and the affected area, or if that were possible, merely remove the whole arm, you should be free of it, right? Boruto thought about it. You know what? If it stops me from becoming Otsutsuki, let's go for it. Alright, I'm kidding, just kidding. I'm not actually planning to cut off Boruto's arm. The Karma Seal is one of his better assets, and it's just overall awesome. A cool callback to Orochimaru's Cursed Mark of Heaven, which ironically worked almost exactly the same way. But it does mark an issue with Boruto's storytelling. From what I've gathered, the Karma Seal is implanted right into the palm of Boruto's hand. And Boruto is afraid of becoming a monster and killing his friends to the point that he's ready to get himself killed, right? So if Boruto is ready to go to extremes, why not just cut the seal off? As far as I can tell, the seal is required to transfer Momoshiki's DNA over, so at worst he would just have Momoshiki in his head talking, but at best he could solve the situation entirely. And before you think I'm wrong for asking if it would be good to amputate the arm of a child, remember that Naruto is doing pretty well right now. And if Boruto got an artificial arm made of Hashirama Senju's cells like Naruto did, why, not only would it aid him in regeneration, it would also possibly grant him access to one of the most broken jutsu types in the world. Would release. But, I think I've gone on far enough. I just wanted to ask this question. It's a viable answer. But then again, maybe they explained that and I missed an episode. Either way, I'm sure you're tired of this off-the-rails tangent, so let's continue. Jiraiya tried everything, every form of seal, and still the Karma Seal continued doing its thing. It wasn't like other Fuinjutsu that Jiraiya had studied. The only thing that came anywhere close to this was Orochimaru's Cursed Seal of Heaven, but besides that, there was nothing. He began to think that Orochimaru could deal with it, but then again, Orochimaru was on the lam, and they were currently searching for him in hopes of retrieving Sasuke. Or present Sasuke. Jiraiya began to think that this was a sign that Sasuke had and could be saved, at least in another place and time. But the issue with this line of thought is that if they relied upon something revealed from the future, that could mistakenly rob them of conviction, which in turn would make sure they failed. Jiraiya needed to be careful that neither Naruto nor Boruto fell into that line of thinking. After all, butterfly effects were still in play and the future was constantly in flux. So what was important right now was ensuring that the two of them managed to stay strong. After further investigation on the Karma Seal, Jiraiya realized that it, like Kurama, could be controlled if the user were properly trained. However, the issue with that was the more it was used, the faster it progressed. And the faster it progressed, the closer it came to becoming completely uncontrollable. Once it was 100% converted, it would erase Boruto's personality completely and give Momoshiki full control. Despite this, Jiraiya felt that it was important to let him train with it. The more time they spent training, the more obvious it would become that Momoshiki was waking up. They didn't have much time to do anything about it, so what could they do? Okay, I'm gonna pause the situation for a moment to speak about this. I know, but I'll try to keep it brief. I just want to explain that we have no logical way to keep Momoshiki from 100% conquering Boruto's consciousness and converting his body. The only thing we have is the near-death experience, and considering that we don't want Boruto out of the game before Shippuden starts, we're going to suggest that they either figure it out or Boruto accidentally mortally wounded himself unto death. I know I'm kinda metagaming here, but you want a thrilling story, and we don't want Boruto to die before that story is told, right? Well, please make a small exception for me. At some point during a sparring match, we'll say around the same time that Jiraiya is hurt by Naruto's version 2 and the both of them are put into the hospital, that Boruto, for all intents and purposes, is killed. Well, not truly killed, but his chest is perforated, his lungs are massively damaged, and his heart is just gone. In an effort to save his vessel's life, Momoshiki donates the rest of the DNA to Boruto to heal him, thus ensuring that Momoshiki can never truly revive. Boruto is saved by this gesture, and because Momoshiki won't be able to erase Boruto's consciousness, Boruto can learn proper control to keep Momoshiki asleep while he uses Momo's powers. So Boruto is left with a black mark across his chest like some alien scar, and is practically healthy. He's up and moving while both Naruto and Jiraiya are healing. Naruto feels really bad about nearly killing Jiraiya, but feels even worse that he almost killed his own son, which he finds a weird sentence to say given he's 12 and has no love interest yet. Seeing that Naruto is down in the dumps, Boruto goes off to collect some of Ichiraku Ramen's best noodles and brings them to the hospital. The medical nin wish to stop them, but decide not to given that it's Jiraiya and his student that they're talking about. So Boruto brings the noodles and they proceed to eat. Eventually, after our heroes completely heal up, they return to training their bodies and minds, as well as their chakra control and the like. Naruto was too scared to touch version 2 again, but with the help of Jiraiya, he mastered it. Boruto, however, was the one seeing the most gain out of his training. Not only did he master the usage of his Karma Seal, as well as mastering the ability to keep Momoshiki suppressed, but he also seemed to have awakened a new form of dojutsu within his Byakugan, the Jogan. Oh my soul, I gotta stop us a third time? Come on, I promise this one's quick. I just need to inform you that because we don't actually know what the Jogan does in the manga yet, and since we're following filler anyway, we're going to stick with the anime rendition of the Jogan just to keep it official. Training montages don't last forever, and within the blink of an eye, at least for us, the 2.5 years had passed. During this time, Sasuke continued to search through various dimensions, such as those that Kaguya had once owned, for any information as to how he would get back to the future, but was getting nowhere. What was a Sasuke to do, you might ask? Well, he began to think back on everything he knew about Katsuki, and given that they traveled back in time and there were now 2 Sasukes sharing the same temporal plane, it could stand to reason that a surviving Katsuki could be somewhere in this time and place, and all Sasuke had to do was find it. So he once more continued his research. He never truly visited Boruto, as Boruto did not show any interest in visiting him since their fight, but he did remain close by as much as he could and attempted to watch over the boy to make sure that he didn't get himself or the others in trouble. Sasuke knew Boruto and he knew Naruto, and because of that, he knew that trouble would likely follow them wherever they went. Nothing much was to note until Naruto accidentally almost killed everyone. In fact, it was Sasuke who helped get everyone help with his Rinnegan via teleportation, though nobody knew due to being practically dead. After the 2 years had passed, Naruto and Boruto returned to the village. Boruto was in the best shape of his life, as was Naruto, but Boruto felt like he could take on the world. Like not even Momoshiki could stop him, like he could eradicate Urashiki all on his lonesome. To be honest, Boruto had been keeping tabs on particular events that he thought should be changed. Remembering everything he could from his history class and from the stories everyone had told him, he had put together a secret timeline that he wouldn't show anyone. And what was important now was fixing the issues. According to what Boruto remembered, there would be an attempt to kidnap Gaara. Boruto would need to stop that before they could claim the tailed beast. Considering reports that stated that Gaara was only freshly killed when they found him suggested that it would be possible to save him if they hurried. And so, the moment that word came in that they were going to save Gaara, Boruto put the pedal to the metal, hoping to get there even quicker than before, really pushing Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi to their limits. Naruto trusted Boruto though, knowing that he came from the future and that he could handle anything. And so, getting to the Land of Wind, he stopped once in the village really quickly to heal Kankuro. As Temari attempted to stop them and inform them of where they should try looking, Boruto would wave it off, telling her, "Thank you so much, but we already know where to go," and would set off, much to everyone's confusion. When this brought suspicion to Kakashi and Sakura's minds, they wished to know why Boruto seemed to know everywhere he was going. Boruto simply lied and said that his awakening of the Jogan gave him limited foresight, and to a particular point in time, he knew what events would transpire and how to stop them. And so they would continue on toward the cave, arriving very quickly. The moment he steps in, he immediately activates his Karma Seal and Jogan and goes straight into a brutal slaughter. I mean, Deidara and Sasori have almost no chance whatsoever. We're talking someone on or above Kaguya's power level. These schmucks don't even have time to bend over and kiss their rears goodbye. Gaara is freed, and Boruto explains that Konoha would not leave its friend behind, that he's loved, blah 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 blah. Boruto is just trying to speedrun this entire thing, and he's getting a little carried away. Naruto shows up to try and make sure that Gaara's okay, but given that Gaara didn't die, and it wasn't Naruto who saved him, but some strange shinobi who didn't seem much to care, the impact isn't really felt. Boruto bounds about on his way home, feeling like he fulfilled some great accomplishment. He feels as though everything is going to turn out better than before. All the while, Kakashi and Sakura think this is very bizarre, but Naruto can't help but beam with pride in his future son. The team returns to the Leaf, where Boruto and Naruto decide to go out to Ichiraku. While waiting, Boruto decides to reevaluate his timeline. He opens up his journal and crosses Gaara's rescue off and moves on. Let's see, what's next? He taps his pencil to his chin. Naruto tries to peek over his shoulder at it. Boruto witnesses this and closes the book and looks back. "Do you mind? I told you there were things you couldn't know. We're trying to flow with this naturally. I'm merely making alterations to your existing timeline and maximizing the good from it. Now, shouldn't you be training? Attempting to learn a new jutsu?" Naruto shakes his head. "No, I just wanted to spend some time with you." Boruto shakes his head. "No time for that, Dad." He looks over at Teiuchi as one brow raised. "I mean, Naruto." He stands up and begins pushing Naruto out. "You've got an important mission to accomplish. Create a new jutsu. Think wind release and Rasengan." He pushes him out. Boruto sighs and turns back around and enters the building to find Sasuke sitting in his seat. "Oh, Uncle Sasuke, it's been 2 years since I last saw you. How have you been?" Sasuke motions him to sit without even answering the boy's questions. Sasuke takes the bowl of ramen that was originally supposed to be Naruto's. He begins to slurp it. "You know you're setting yourself up for failure, right?" he said between bites. Boruto would glare at him out of the corner of his eye. "No, I'm saving the world a lot of trouble. A lot of people who would be dead now are getting to live, and a lot of people who are hurting are now going to be okay." Sasuke sighs. "You're trying to save everyone, huh? That never works right. Trust me." Boruto motions about. "Why shouldn't I be able to save everyone? I have the knowledge, the strength, the timeline of events. I know who dies and who lives. I can save them." Sasuke turned to face him. "You're not God, Boruto. You can't save everyone. Do you think you'll be able to save Mitsuki? Or are you planning to save everyone else and leave him for dead by stopping the war?" Boruto thought about it. What do you mean? Sasuke sighed. You're thinking too linearly. Butterfly effects. Every action you make, every pebble you toss, makes a ripple in the lake. Yeah, you can probably stop pain, and you can probably stop the Fourth Shinobi World War from even occurring. But if you do, what happens then? Orochimaru would not come back to life without the war. Without Orochimaru coming back to life and receiving clemency due to his actions, Mitsuki would not be alive. See what I mean? Have you even thought about the tiny things that will occur from the things you're changing? Boruto seemed to grow defensive about it. He groaned. Alright, maybe I can't save everyone, but I'll save as many as I can. And you never know, we could be wrong about it. Mitsuki might just exist in this world too. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going off to prepare for the next missions. During this time, Naruto trains tirelessly to form this new jutsu Boruto told him to create. He attempted to add wind style to the Rasengan. This took him a painfully long amount of time to do. He eventually managed it, but what was he really going to do with it? With Boruto around, pretty much nobody had to do anything. All the while, Boruto went solo to Tenchi Bridge. He would prove to Sasuke that he could do everything. Save everyone, and so he used the transformation jutsu to become Sasori an inch closer to Kabuto. Of course, he knew this was a trap, and that's what he hoped for anyway, the chance to do things right. Honestly, Orochimaru was a real bastard who, though he could be saved, didn't deserve to be, so he decided that Orochimaru should die, but not before Kabuto helped Boruto create Mitsuki. Boruto would then save present Sasuke and bring him back to the village as the hero who killed Orochimaru. He would then help him get his revenge on Itachi. After all, Itachi was already dying and sought Sasuke to provide retribution. This was a mercy. The truth would not come out, nor did it ever need to. Oh, Boruto was excited. When the ambush was sprung, Boruto transformed back into himself and took on his Karma Seal form. This was terrifying to Kabuto and intriguing to Orochimaru. Kabuto questioned if Boruto were Naruto, but he would reply that he wasn't. He was something so much stronger. He would grip them by the napes of their necks and move back toward the laboratory with them. There, Boruto would strap Orochimaru down. He would then command Kabuto to clone Orochimaru and create Mitsuki. Orochimaru was astounded at how Boruto knew that name, but Boruto offered no answers. Orochimaru commanded Kabuto to fulfill the order and begin the project. Kabuto began to clone Orochimaru. Once enough samples were taken from him, Boruto would raise his hand and obliterate Orochimaru with a single massive blast of chakra. This was so startling that it knocked Kabuto off his feet. Boruto turned to him and knelt down. This experiment is the last experiment you ever do. You will bring up the child and raise it. You will work for the community at that orphanage where you were raised, and you will never leave. Because if I find that you have not created and protected this baby, not protected Mitsuki, or at any time continued research here, or abandoned the orphanage, I will hunt you down and I will kill you. Are we clear? Kabuto nodded his head quickly. Boruto stood. Good. Have a wonderful day. He turned to leave. There he witnessed Sasuke standing in the doorway. Naruto? He asked, looking at this horned creature. Boruto shook his head. Nope. Someone else. I am Naruto's relative, long lost, and I've come to bring you back to the village. Sasuke glared at Boruto. Honestly, Boruto was surprised to see how much Sasuke had changed, but all the same, there was hardly anything he could do to Boruto at this time. He walked over and returned to his base form. You seek revenge against your brother, yeah? Sasuke was quiet, but listening. Boruto continued. You want all the girls, you want to recreate your clan. All these things I can help you achieve. I just need you to listen to what I say and be rewarded. Sasuke scoffed. I don't need your help to do anything. I can do it on my own. Boruto would put his hand on Sasuke's face and push him out the door and into the wall with enough force that he bounced off. Sasuke sat up. Boruto stepped down and looked into Sasuke's left eye, pulling the lid down. Curious, he said to himself. Not a Rinnegan. He pulled his hand back. You're gonna listen to what I tell you, and if you do, you'll be rewarded. Revenge? As many women as you desire to bear as many heirs as you need. But if you don't, I'll kill you, and then Itachi as well. You'll not taste revenge, and the bloodline of the Uchiha will be extinct. Sasuke gazed into Boruto's eyes and witnessed the truth, and for the first time since the Forest of Death, he felt true killing intent. He had no choice but to agree. Boruto smiled and straightened out Sasuke's shirt. Good. You'll return to the village as a hero. Girls will throw themselves at your feet. Boruto would then teleport back to Konoha with Sasuke. He would look at him and tell him flatly, now, your objective right now is to walk into the village, go straight to the Hokage's office, and declare that your mission to kill Orochimaru was a success. He pulled out a piece of whatever was left of Orochimaru. This is your proof. Your story was that you never planned to betray Konoha, but to avenge it. You were just playing a long game where you had Orochimaru train his own assassin. An ironic and fitting end. Naruto will back you up, as will Sakura and even Kakashi. Just stick to the script and you'll be fine. As for me, I've got some Akatsuki to hunt. Once more, Boruto disappeared. Sasuke would enter the village doing as commanded, knowing that Boruto could destroy him should he refuse. Boruto would teleport to the fire temple where he would enter and wait. He would be approached and would ask for Chiriku. They would bring him to him. Boruto would speak. "Gracious monk Chiriku, I have received a divine vision in regards to your fate, and have been sent to avoid your death. Currently, there are 2 mercenaries coming. One is named Hidan, the other Kakuzu. They're from the Akatsuki, and they will soon stop here to claim your body. But worry not, because I'm here to defend you." Chiriku would be skeptical at first, but have no reason to doubt. He would allow Boruto to wait to see if such a thing came true, and to his surprise, it did. Hidan and Kakuzu would appear to claim the bounty, but would be stopped by Boruto. They would warn him and try to push him out of their way, with Hidan threatening to curse him in the name of Jashin. Boruto would activate his karma seal and utterly evaporate Hidan. Not so immortal it seems. No regeneration, only the ability to survive any wound. I wonder if you survived that as ashes only. Kakuzu was startled by this and attempted to run, but Boruto would rush forward, taking flight, and would raise him into the air by his throat. Boruto would take out his sword and proceed to stab each of Kakuzu's hearts at a speed even Kakuzu could not detect, or even feel until it was finished. Boruto would drop him. From there, the monks believed Boruto to be the incarnation of a god and began to worship him as such, and Boruto merely held his arms out to bask in their supplication. "Fear not, my children," he would say. "Your world faces a horrible fate, but I will save it. Continue to offer me your prayers, and I will hear." He would then disappear. Returning to the village, he would sigh. "I'm starting to get tired." For one night, he would rest. The night thereafter, he would meet with Sasuke and tell him where to find Itachi. Letting Sasuke go, Boruto would make quick work of Kisame and would proceed to use his Jogan to detect where Tobi was. He would suddenly appear before him, floating. Tobi would look up at him with surprise and then would simply speak. "Oh, how interesting." All the while, the battle between Sasuke and Itachi was getting into full swing. Boruto hovered there before Tobi and spoke. "Your life is forfeit. I know who you are, Obito Uchiha, and what you've done, and will do in regards to the Ten Tails and Project Tsukinome. It ends today." Boruto would attempt to strike him, but pass clean through. He looked at his hands and then returned his gaze to Tobi questioningly. "You think I haven't been watching you? It's going to take a lot more than raw strength to bring me down." Tobi would suddenly appear in front of Boruto and strike him, knocking him to the ground. Boruto would rise to his feet. Tobi would come in again and knock Boruto through a tree before causing that tree to grip him via wood release. Boruto would place his hand on the tree to remove the chakra from it and thus the jutsu. He would then pull through and strike out again. He passed through once more, but this time his eye caught a glimpse of something. There was something separating 2 worlds at play here. That's right, with his Jogan, Boruto could see Tobi's Kamui. Boruto had just beat Tobi. As Tobi went to strike, Boruto moved in as well and offered a strike. Boruto passed clean through, but as soon as he did, he used his ability to fly to stop immediately and then rush back at Tobi at incredible speeds. He would punch a hole clean through him. "You know, you actually gave me a bit of a challenge. It was only luck that allowed me to figure out what you were doing, but I guess that's how the cookie crumbles." He pulled his hand free, and as he did, he noticed that the battle between Sasuke and Itachi had ended. And now, the past would remain hidden, and Sasuke would never learn of Konoha's involvement. He would return to Konoha with Sasuke just in time to leave for Amagakure with Jiraiya. He had grown attached to this man and couldn't just let him die. And besides that, the last target on the list, Pain, was in this village. As soon as he and Jiraiya left for Ame, Boruto came clean. "I've been killing the Akatsuki, stopping threats, and I even brought Sasuke home. Are you proud of me, mentor?" Jiraiya would nod. "Immensely. You're using your power for good. One more thing I need to tell you. Your assumptions are correct. In Amagakure, the leader of the Akatsuki looms, but I can't let you go into the village." Boruto looked to him. "Why?" Boruto opened up his journal and showed him the timeline. It contained the events that transpired between the time he showed up well into the future, including the 4th Shinobi World War. All were marked off except for that. One and another. Jiraiya is killed in Ame. Jiraiya was taking it all in. He handed it back to Boruto. Boruto looked up at him. "I will deal with the leader of the Akatsuki. You should remain outside at a safe distance. My father was destroyed when you died. You meant everything to him. I need you to stay alive for his sake. I've fought far worse people than Pain. I can handle it alone. Just please, trust me, okay? Jiraiya took a deep breath and sighed. Fine, but you better be careful. Boruto nodded. In all actuality, Boruto overblew it a little. Boruto knew he could easily protect Jiraiya. He just didn't want him to know that Pain was his student, Nagato, and he didn't want him to be there for what he was about to do to him. Boruto entered the village quickly. Of course, he was attacked by the 6 paths of pain, but these were hardly a threat to him at all. Each one was eviscerated without effort. Boruto's hands ripping through bone and flesh. They offered little resistance. Not to say they weren't trying, it was just hardly impressive. Boruto knew that his father in the future could beat each of these without any boosting technique. Boruto didn't need one either, he merely used it to speed things up. Once the last one was killed, he made his way to Nagato's location, which he sensed with his Jogan. He entered the room. Conan attempted to offer resistance, but was quickly massacred. Nagato remained there, unflinching and unmoving, offering no resistance and expecting no mercy. And mercy he received none. Boruto would step out into the rain, his body drenched in blood. He looked into the sky and closed his eyes. Thunder roared above as the sky was lit up by lightning. He was letting the deluge wash away the blood on his clothes. He would look down and pull his journal out. He pulled a pen and crossed out the 4th Shinobi World War as well as Jiraiya's death. Below the timeline, in all caps and double underlined, he wrote the words, "World saved." He then returned to base camp where Jiraiya was waiting. Jiraiya was startled to see how much blood was still clinging to Boruto. In fear, he asked his student if he were okay. Boruto nodded. "It's okay, it's not mine." This phrase freaked Jiraiya out a little. He decided not to press for details. "I assume this means..." Boruto smiled. "Yes, I found the leader of the Akatsuki, Pain, and I killed him and his comrades. The Akatsuki are now defunct." Jiraiya sighed. "Finally, after so many years, my mission is complete." Boruto solemnly nodded. "I'm glad you're alive, mentor." Together they returned to the Leaf for debriefing. Sasuke would eventually show up, and by Sasuke I mean the future Sasuke. "So, did you save the world?" Boruto smiled. "I did." Sasuke didn't smile. He merely held up the present Katasuki. "It took me a long time, but I found it. Shall we go home?" Boruto stepped forward. "Yes, I can't wait to see Mom and Hima again." Sasuke would then activate Katasuki and the two would step through. However, upon doing so, they would witness a world covered in molten rock, ash, and a practically flattened earth. Boruto was confused. What is this?" Sasuke looked at him. "This is the consequences of your actions. We don't have a home anymore." Boruto stuttered again, looking for words. But we merely changed a separate timeline." Sasuke turned to him. "There was no other timeline. We should have heeded Katasuki's warning from the start. You weren't just messing with any past, you were messing with our past. And these are the effects of that." Boruto was completely overwhelmed. "Dad? Mom? Hima?" He looked up at Sasuke, tears in his eyes. "What happened?" Sasuke looked down. "You happened. You see, this is the butterfly effect I kept mentioning. Because you messed with the past, the future changed. Because you trained with Naruto and Jiraiya, they felt as if they could rely on you. Because you rescued Gaara without him perishing, he never truly reconnected with Naruto. Because you rescued my past self and killed Obito and Pain early, the 4th Shinobi World War as we knew it didn't occur. Sounds good, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Without the struggles, nobody got stronger. Everyone stagnated. There were no bonds forged. Teneri attempted to destroy the Earth with the Tenseigan, but the moon was destroyed by Kumo's super weapon. Because of their new weapon of mass destruction, a different 4th Shinobi World War broke out, and a lot of people died, all because the 5 great nations did not fight alongside each other and gain respect for the others. Then, when Momoshiki came to Earth, Naruto didn't have 6-path Sage Mode, and I didn't have my Rinnegan, so nobody could save him. He lost his tailed beast, and Momoshiki awakened the 10 Tails, absorbing all life on Earth and devouring the chakra fruit. Then, he moved on to the next world. Boruto fell to his knees. "If this all happened, then why are we still here?" Sasuke didn't even look down on him now. "Because we pulled ourselves out of our time and into another. We had a different anchor which broke cause and effect." Boruto fell on his face crying. Sasuke looked down. "There's only one way to fix this." Boruto looked up. "What?" Sasuke held out Katasuki. "We go back in time again, and this time we stop ourselves from causing this in the first place. We replace our previously dead Katasuki with this living one. We erase our memory from everyone who saw us, and we live a life of seclusion somewhere, vagabonds, out of time. That's all we can do." Boruto looked up once more. "Will I ever see Mom again?" Sasuke nodded. "Yes, but she won't be your mom." Boruto began to cry once more, but he agreed to the plan. They returned back in time and replaced the living Katsuki with the dead one, and erased the memory of their intervention from everyone's minds. They would then move far away and watch. Their correct selves, what one at this point might just resort to calling canon selves, would take the turtle and return to the future with it, leaving Naruto and Jiraiya on the ground. The world was saved and everything went back to the way it was, but it was not without cost. Boruto and Sasuke would be forced to live in seclusion for the rest of their lives, away from the villages, unable to help or interact. And that hurt. Losing Jiraiya, watching Sasuke lose his Rinnegan, Kurama's demise, omnipotence, everything. But what more was there to do? It's how it had to be, and Boruto eventually accepted that. And that's the story. Boy, was that a total bummer. I mean, it eventually worked out well for the world, but for our heroes? Well, they certainly had to make a sacrifice. Honestly, I never planned for Boruto to lean so much into villainhood, but I thought it was perfect for him to begin believing he actually was a god. I'd like to attribute this personality change to Momoshiki subconsciously affecting Boruto silently throughout the story. I guess it was pretty dark, but there are times when things just have to happen. Sometimes bad things work for good. Sometimes we hurt now so we can be happy tomorrow. Life really can be a pendulum, but we just gotta have faith. I suppose that's what this story tells us. If nobody in Naruto Shippuden had suffered, nobody would have grown in strength and character, and without that, they couldn't properly fight back when the darkness came. But anyway, I would love to hear what you thought about this video, and what your favorite part was. Until next time, peace out.
Did you enjoy our video? Well then be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.